30 Pop
Network. Welcome to Insert Pop Culture Reference here. I'm your host, Jennifer Miller, and with me is my husband, Tim Miller.
Hey, guys.
And the Stanfields, Holly and Chris.
Yours was like a depressed, creepy guy, and then ours were just zombies.
No, that was my Ross Geller.
Creepy guy that lives in his mom's face.
That's what I was like. Holly sounded like a serial killer.
That was my Ross Geller impression. Hey, guys.
He doesn't like Friends. I don't know if Holly ever watched Friends or not.
Who?
Did you watch Friends?
I do, but it was nothing like Ross Geller.
No, but
No.
I did tell you I didn't like Friends, or I probably would have
I
got
feel like
into
you
Friends,
are
but somebody
disagreeing
made
with what they
this
like.
really bad for me. So there was this girl in college who needed a place to live. I knew her mom, and so I let her move in. And it was just supposed to be like a 1 month arrangement. And she starts bringing guys home, and our beds are like touching each other. And she would have to watch Friends every single night to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then there was one night that her like boy toys like toenails like scratched Chris's arm like when they were making out.
I counted it as getting some.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. No wonder you have such a traumatic relationship with Friends.
Yes.
Bad memories.
Ruined it for me.
Well, we're
I
off.
watched them all. I was just never in love. I don't know.
Yeah. I was, and I still, like, if I watch it, I still find, like, humor in it and stuff. It was, I think, the first sitcom that wasn't, like, a family sitcom, like Home Improvement, things like that I, like, that was mine, that I liked, that wasn't, like, we watched as a family.
It was also, if you think about it, a very non-New York type of atmosphere.
Yeah.
They're all like nice, regular acting people now. It's like everyone in New York is like crazy, trashy, Jersey Shore.
I
don't think that's all of New York, Chris.
I mean, played on TV.
I was thinking about them today because I saw where
Jersey Shore?
no Friends.
The situation.
Because I saw where the Big Bang Theory got picked up for three more seasons.
Jesus.
Yes.
And it looked like Sheldon and, the main characters, Kaylee Cuoco, and now I can't think of her ex-boyfriend's name who was on Roseanne, what his name is in real life. Anyway,
David.
That's why I was like, David.
The three main characters are all banding together because they won $1 million an episode each.
Of course.
For the
Remember
next 3
Friends?
seasons?
Yes.
See,
And
Friends
it looks
didn't
like
do
they're
it
going
till
to
the
get it
final
because
season.
they have the highest rated show on CBS.
Okay, do you guys like Big Bang Theory?
Love it.
Yeah.
I've not watched it in a few seasons. Like, we always liked it, probably for the first 3 or 4 seasons, and then I don't remember exactly what happened, and we kind of lost interest in it, and so we haven't watched it in a few seasons.
It's solid, though.
Is it?
I don't know if it's $1 million an actor.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I got it when it's like your 10th and final season, and
Well, Friends started that whole, like, give me
That's what
$1
made me
million
think of it,
Yeah.
Tim,
an episode.
when they all banded together and saying, we're actually going to demand this much money. That was
Yeah.
like really the first time that had happened
Yep.
on that kind of level.
yes. Well, because they always had, you always had your stars ranked, and it was 6 characters where they could have been like Jennifer Aniston, who was a bigger movie star than Matt LeBlanc, would have been paid more typically. And so they just decided that since they were an ensemble cast, that every negotiation was as an ensemble. I mean, I think it's commendable. I think it breeds probably a more positive and productive work environment if all of your co-stars are in it with you versus like having animosity over somebody making more than you and you're working like the same schedule.
Right, especially with like Jim Parsons, who, you know, wins the Emmy, gets the Golden Globe, gets all of the recognition. It really does say a lot about him that he is essentially carrying that show as far as nominations and awards, and he's still banding together with the rest of the main characters saying that we all deserve this pay.
Yeah, because the stars could easily just like go after their own selfish interests.
And you have to look at, like, that's what happened with, like, Charlie Sheen.
Yep.
You know, it was all about Charlie Sheen, even though the half-brother was, not the half-brother, the brother was winning all of the awards.
No, no.
Yes. John Cryer.
Yeah, John Cryer. He was winning the awards, but then Charlie Sheen's making $1 million an episode.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah, but you watched it because of him. Has anyone liked the show or watched it since he's been off?
I never watched it in the first place.
No.
Oh, it declined 100%.
Yeah.
So he was worth it.
So is Ashton Kutcher still on there?
Yeah.
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 But the half man's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of went crazy.
Yeah.
Remember that little kid?
Yes.
He went crazy.
I think he was, I don't know, like, if it was like he did an interview with like a Christian magazine or something, and his family's like really religious, and he was just kind of like basically saying kids didn't need to watch garbage like the show he was on.
Right.
And then he wasn't back next season.
He'll go ahead and cash a check, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If it really meant that much to you.
All right.
Yeah, I think he was making $350,000 an episode.
Jeez. I guess your convictions can be bought.
Yeah.
So in addition to Big Bang getting 3 more seasons, what else is going on?
I was very pumped this week to learn that Jason Sudeikis is taking over as Fletch.
Yes.
The old...
Jen is so happy.
Oh my god.
Sliding off her seat right now.
I'm like, no.
She was a comedy fan. You know that, like everything Jen likes, it's related to sex, but...
Pretty much.
No, if you know the old Fletch movies with Chevy Chase, it's a cult classic. Hilarious. Yes. I think he's a good pick for that, and I'm glad they're reviving it. It's like action comedy, weird. I think he's going to pull it off.
I do too, and they said that it was, which I've never read the books that it's based off of, but they said it was actually going to be more true to the original series than the Chevy Chase movies were. So I don't exactly know what that will entail, but I think it'll be interesting because it'll be something fresh and won't just be like a true, like, try to just remake something old.
Right. And I think it was you who was telling me when the original Fletch movies came out, they were kind of flops, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Chevy did
But
not. No, they were not very successful or popular. Most of his movies that he did around that time, with the exception of the Vacation movie, the National Lampoon movies, were all kind of just mediocre. He most of his movies have found like cult success over years. Was
Caddyshack before that, I'm assuming?
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess I consider
that was probably
that
his big comedy.
Yeah, it was, but I don't know. I know he was in it, but I think more like that was Bill Murray's movie.
True.
Yeah.
As far as him as like the main lead, he did fine. I mean, obviously they were booking him for other roles, but for him to have left Saturday Night Live, he wasn't as successful as they thought he was going to be at the time. So, yes, I was very excited about the Sudeikis announcement as well.
I was going to talk about Juan Pablo from The Bachelor. I think that we should have an entire podcast, like maybe like a series dedicated to reality TV and then specifically the dating shows. But I didn't really watch this season. I just kind of read the tidbits like the next day.
That's one idea.
Wow. Because it's just too long for me to watch. Like, I just don't have time just to sit there and for an hour and watch this guy like make out with like all of these like hookers.
3 hours. Show's 2 hours.
I know. There's a rose ceremony.
After the rose.
But I will say that my sister knows this guy in real life.
She knows Juan Pablo?
She knows Juan Pablo. and I guess he really isn't that big of a D-bag, like, off camera. But I'm sure that's, like, what most people think about their friends. I mean, you're friends with me, right? A lot of people think I'm a D-bag, right?
Oh, you're not a D-bag.
No, but anyway, so he, like, tells the one girl that he doesn't pick. He's, like, pretty much he likes screwing her, but he doesn't really know her. And then the second girl, he's like, I'm not going to propose to you, but I like you a lot. And now she's, like, parading around on national television with him, like, all happy in love, and he can't even tell her that he loves her.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Well, I read, this wasn't specifically about his season, and I can't remember which bachelor it was that kind of did the little expose, but they basically from the get-go, like after the first night, have to sit down with producers, whatever, and tell them who they want in their final four. They pick their final four the first night. And so who goes home and when they go home, other than those four, is all dictated by the show.
No way.
Yes, because they say, I think
can't
these are the four people that I think I would have the most connection with. I want to keep them around to the end. So the show just makes sure that those four don't go home. And think about it. Every season there's some wackadoo that sticks around way too long because it's that she's there for ratings. So they do that on purpose. The person, male or female, bachelor or bachelorette, does not decide who is the one eliminated each week.
Wow.
So if there was somebody you didn't hit it off with on the first night, but then you started to later, too bad, so freaking sad. Like, you lost your chance.
So freaking sad.
Yeah. So that kind of, like, was enlightening to me, which I haven't watched the show in years.
We haven't watched reality TV, hardly.
Yeah, when we cut the cable, you don't, it's harder to watch,
Yeah.
and, like, you feel like that time suck that you used to watch reality TV with, like, scripted stuff on Netflix or Hulu. But, I mean, scripted stuff, apparently that's somewhat scripted, too. But, I mean, even before we cut the cable, I hadn't watched Bachelor in a long time.
We all know that the truest reality TV show is Cops.
Okay.
Like, everything else is scripted, but not Cops.
I think I just heard a pen drop. That was weird.
Cops was awesome.
Tim hasn't had cable since 1994.
Apparently. That was the last reality show he watched.
It's the truest reality show.
Oh, gosh. No, I think it would be fun to kind of have our own little, like, soup version of some of the breakdown of reality stuff each week.
We should have our own awards show. Like the Insert Pop Awards for, like the Razzies almost. That'd be kind of cool, right?
Okay.
So it would be an anti-award if it's like the Razzies.
Yeah. Awarding something to the worst.
Well, you know, the soup always
Well,
had
that's just me.
awards, too. The soup had awards.
The
You're right.
original Tim.
The original Cops. What a reference.
Oh,
See,
wow.
folks,
You
this
put
is
the
what I
reference
deal
in
with
Insert
every
Pop
single
Culture.
week. It actually starts before we actually record, just so you guys know.
That's true. First thing, had to make fun of Tim's wearing a camouflage hoodie. Had to make fun of.
It's okay. I accept my role.
Okay, then why are you
That's good.
talking about it every chance you get?
Wow. We're going places today.
An incredible response by Tim.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Are we,
So
are
it
we
is,
ready to talk about summer movies? Because
We-
I am ready.
yeah. Let's get into movies before Tim starts crying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't have anything to talk about. It's okay.
Yeah.
And
Apparently, we cut Tim off and make him feel rushed.
Is that what he just wrote to you, like a hostage?
No.
Or no?
No,
He just slid it across the
Did he
table?
mumble that while he was right here on the seat?
No, this was
Are
the
you a Spanish
feedback.
person?
This was the feedback
Okay.
after our last show.
It's okay. We're good.
Did you have
you-
something else you would like to say about cops or being put upon by us?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I mean, I was
So-
going to talk about something else, but it's fine.
Okay, so summer movies. Who wants to take this and run?
I'll just go off and start my own podcast called Tim's Tangents, and I can just talk about whatever I want, whenever I want, and people will listen.
You've been promising this, but it's never happened.
I feel like Tim's Tantrums would be better.
Yes, that is much more accurate.
I'm
Okay.
going to jump in and say this is so obvious. This is the summer of superheroes.
Yep.
Good God Almighty. This is the year I was born for. Thank you to everyone for popularizing superhero movies to be the biggest moneymakers, because that's now all that's made and all that comes out.
Yeah.
Just as you were saying before the show that you were like not super pumped about too many movies this summer because everything is a superhero movie.
Exactly. My list for summer, for true summer months, is quite small, which is why I'm getting the exception to go into fall.
I mean, we've got Muppets, we've got Nymphomaniac, Captain America.
Yep. So
Spider-Man,
yeah,
Spider-Man.
what are the superhero movies that you guys are like pumped about?
Godzilla,
Muppets.
monster movie.
Godzilla with Bryan Cranston.
Monster movie. Rah! Yes.
I say we won't go. Tim and I could obviously go ballistic like we did on our last podcast. We talked about the upcoming summer movies. My number one I'm excited about. It's a tie: Guardians of the Galaxy and Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be something new, different, funny.
Yeah.
It's got Chris Pratt, which is
Zoe
he's
Zelden,
awesome.
Yes.
Bradley Cooper. Is this a movie that they made together when they started dating originally?
Bradley Cooper.
Vin
and
Diesel's in it.
Who?
Now, Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel are just voices. They're not really in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Brad-
they're voice
Bradley
Groot.
Cooper's a raccoon and Vin Diesel's a tree.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So you can see why Tim and I are excited about it.
Wow.
This, I'll be honest with you, this is the only one that I can see myself probably going gung-ho for at the movie theater. Anything
It's
else,
just
Tim
so
would probably
weird.
have to drag me. Otherwise, I'll be like, just watch it whenever.
So
but
you-
this
so
one I
you-
was like pretty interested in. I thought it looked really funny.
So you never watched Ninja Turtles when you were a kid?
I watched the cartoon. I didn't care. I was
You
never
didn't
a
like the
fan of the
movies?
movie. No.
Wow.
Ooh, interesting. We're our boys, though. That's
Yeah.
what you always got to consider.
I mean, the cartoon was fine. We watched it. Me and my siblings, we watched it, and I always enjoyed it. But the movie just never stuck with me. I watched it one time, and I was good.
Well, then don't listen to this week's Capes and Whiskey.
Yeah. Don't listen to the next
that's all we
episode of
talk
Capes and
about.
Whiskey.
All turtles, all the time.
All turtles. I think that's going to be huge. Hopefully, I hope it's good too, and that the turtle phenomenon that happened when we were kids happens again.
I think it will because with the Nickelodeon cartoon that's on now,
Which
it
is
seems like
amazing.
really huge. Because my nephew, he's 5 and he's a huge turtle fan. Like I think it'll have its second coming for sure.
Twist.
And we get twist. And we get the first trailer at the beginning of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which comes out April 4th. So I might just I want to go see
I
that
will say
anyways.
Captain America intrigues me a little bit because you watched that one and
The
I was
first
supposed to
one-
just read and like I kept putting my book down to watch the movie.
First one's good.
Who watches abs?
No, it wasn't even that. Like it was just I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't actually hate superhero movies. I liked Iron Man and stuff like that. It's just getting me to sit down and watch it because I just don't feel like
I'm the same way, Jen. My
I
attention
want to watch
span, Yeah, my attention span for stuff like that is just very short.
We're going to have to take away your iPad.
I know. I'm more into the comedies and the dramas.
It's like
than
if I
the high action.
if I sit down and I watch it, like I enjoy it, but it's the thought of it somewhere in my head thinks I won't, or I just if I'm going to sit down and watch by choice, I pick a million other things besides action and superheroes.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But the new Captain America is getting fantastic reviews already. So that's a
I'm
good
excited.
sign for
I think I was always more excited than you were about it. You were a little
Yes.
apprehensive, but I've always been excited about it. But yeah, so that just is a few weeks away coming out. So,
Yeah.
April.
yeah, April
Coming right
4th.
Holly, you want to talk about the comedy with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron?
Yeah, I'm really excited for Neighbors, especially after we listened to that podcast. I think it was Monday or Sunday. No, it was Sunday night. We listened to that podcast. They were saying that it was the funniest movie that they've seen released in the last couple of years. And I'm also excited about The Interview, which comes out later this fall. And it has James Franco and Seth Rogen. And Seth Rogen wrote it with his collaborator, his partner, Evan Goldberg. And it's kind of like This Is the End, where it's just like crazy, outrageous storyline, but it's supposed to be, you know, just hilarious. So.
And it's got Lizzie Kaplan in it, which I adore.
Yeah.
I'm that's on my list. Like, I'm super excited about it. It's in October, The Interview.
Yep.
Not summer.
It's counting. It'll still be warm in October.
I mean, this is just 2014 movies in general, right?
Yeah, we haven't hit, like, we'll say...
I mean, the summer blockbusters are clearly just going to be the superhero films. I mean, that's what it usually is every summer. And then the better movies, you know, the Oscar-worthy movies are released later in the fall, early winter, so...
What?
Well, I'll say there's another comedy that I'm kind of excited about that's actually in the summer in July called Sex Tape, and it has Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz, Jack Black, Rob Corddry. I don't know if that's how you say his name. Yeah, and it's the director who did Bad Teacher and his buddy that was in, I guess, the director of Orange County, and it's just this married couple on a desperate search for a missing sex tape. And I just have to say, I love Jason Segel, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall is one of my, like, favorite guilty pleasure movies.
Yes.
Like, if
Such a great movie.
I mean, like, it's one of those, like, when we had cable, like, if it was on TV and I hit a channel, like, no matter where it was at in the movie, like, I would stop and watch it. Like, I love that movie. So I'm excited to see him in another comedy this summer.
I didn't know Jack Black was coming back, too.
Yeah. I don't exactly know what his... I don't know what his role is in it, but it says he's in it, so...
He'll be making funny noises, right?
Yeah. Also in July is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I thought you would be like, that would be in your top 2, Chris. What's up with this?
I did not like the first one.
Oh.
I've got hope for this one, but I'm not going to pin my star on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't give out too many stars.
Not too many stars. All right, now, Holly, you're a fan of the, like, Crimea River Nicholas Sparks stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not. Like, I can't handle really sad movies. Like, I think everything should kind of have a happy ending. Life's a bummer enough sometimes, so I like happiness. But I really am intrigued with The Fault in Our Stars. And I've hesitated to read the book, which is hugely popular because it is such a sad story. But I'm probably going to end up reading it and then watching the movie and then getting a head cold from crying. Have you have you seen anything about it? Or are you at all interested in it?
No, but so the book is by John Green, and I really wanted to read the book first, but I haven't done that yet.
Well, it doesn't come out till June, so you still have time. So maybe we go cry on our vacation or something.
Yeah, maybe we should read the book while the guys are driving.
Driving.
Into the ocean.
It kind of makes me feel like a little bit of A Walk to Remember. Just, I don't know, like a love story where it's just doomed because somebody's sick, and I don't know. I don't know why I'm at all considering watching this, but it looks like it would be really good.
Yeah, it's like the 16-year-old cancer patient.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that much about it. I've heard it, and then you just said it again, so I'm Googling it over here.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically it. The lead, she has cancer, and she isn't looking to fall in love or anything because she's basically been told she does not have long to live, and she meets this boy who just, like, basically makes every day of her last days, like, epic and romantic, and I'm gonna probably end up reading and watching it.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good girl movie, though. That's
It
good.
is, and I
There's
mean,
like
it's
some balance at least.
it's hugely like the book is just so huge, and I'm I'm a reader, and so I definitely will have to read it before I go watch it. But it's got that Shailene Woodley, which is everybody's kind of saying that she's this year's Jennifer Lawrence because she's also in Divergent. So
Whoa.
they're like she's in a lot of those
Better
big.
watch it. Was she in Spy Kids?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Maybe not.
She was, I think, on that ABC Family show where she was a pregnant teenager.
Oh.
I didn't watch it. Secret Life of American Teenager, maybe. And then she was
Yeah.
also in the Descendants with George Clooney, which was like an Oscar-nominated film. So, lots of buzz around that one. And that's all that I have for like the summer months. So if anybody else has anything May through August.
Yeah, there are a lot of good. Well, I'm pumped about some sequels. 22 Jump Street should be good.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Yeah,
21
I'll see
Jump
it.
Street.
Oh, it's good. You'll like it.
Heard good things.
The sequel to How to Train Your Dragon comes out. I thought that was a really good movie.
I hadn't seen that one either.
Transformers 4. Have you seen any of the Transformers?
Yes.
Tim has.
They're
Funny story about Transformers 4. They were shooting scenes for that movie outside the convention center I was in Chicago last year. Like,
Really? That's
yes,
awesome.
they had the street blocked off. They had the cameras, the cranes, and they had it decked out because it looks like
Tokyo.
It looks like Tokyo. So all of the billboards, the street signs, the labels on the cabs, all of it was it was all Japanese. Like, it was really cool because you could tell how much detail they had put in, and it was this Chicago street, and I'm standing in this convention center, and I watched for the longest time waiting for them to start shooting, and then the director, Michael Bay, is it? Yeah, had not come out, and Mark Wahlberg was in town. He was actually in that scene, and we had to catch our flight before they all came out and started shooting it. But we got to watch them set it up, and so that was pretty cool. I may watch, for that, just to see the scene that I saw them set up.
It'll be like 2 seconds.
Well, this one, they've really evolved the story. Now there are dinosaur robots. So, probably going to be amazing.
Makes sense.
I may have you just call me in if you see some street car chase scenes.
Yeah.
Dinosaur robots, not up my alley.
Yeah.
Okay, so is anybody into Godzilla? Speaking of dinosaur, reptilian,
Yes.
you are?
Trailer. Or the images. I don't know if there's been a trailer yet. I don't think look amazing.
Yes, there is.
Is there a trailer? Yeah, there is.
Yep.
That's right. I remember.
Good.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Cranston's like crying. He's so scared.
Okay, so that's the movie that Bryan Cranston's in.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
called Godzilla.
It looks epic and phenomenal, and
Has there been
they were
a modern version of this?
about 5 years ago with
I kind
Matthew
of felt
Broderick,
like there was one not that long ago.
and it was not very good.
And Jack Black, right?
No, he was
that
in-
King Kong.
Kong. I
Yeah,
guess I'm
he's King Kong.
confused.
It's been a while since I've been really excited
been a
for
while.
a monster movie.
Damn.
Okay.
See, it is annoying, isn't it? How do you like it?
I don't do that.
Hold my head up.
You do too. You and Holly break into song every week.
Well. But it's been a long time since I've been really excited for just a good monster movie, and this one looks incredible. So I cannot wait for this.
Cool.
I think a sleeper that's kind of getting hidden behind all the superhero movies
Yeah.
is Tammy with Melissa from Bridesmaids, the funny one.
Oh, I didn't even
McCarthy?
know. Yeah, I didn't even see anything about
yeah.
this.
Yeah, she's playing this really obnoxious, weird lady, like she always does.
Yeah,
It's rated R too, so.
dude. Now
Probably
that you can go. When does that come out? Because I'll go to the theater with that.
July
you can go watch
2nd.
whatever.
July
July
2nd.
2nd.
All right.
the week after Transformers. So, Tim, if you can wait.
You can go see Transformers, and I'll go watch Tammy.
All right.
I love her. She is so funny. She's one of the best female hosts on Saturday Night Live, like modern day.
Yeah.
She's got a personality.
She's looking kind of hot on the poster, too.
Oh,
Just saying.
You know. All right. Anything else?
You could bottle that.
What
Whatever
else
you
we got for
Tim,
the summer
bottle it.
months?
Summer months. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay. Okay, did you guys watch... Have both of you seen The Amazing Spider-Man?
Once.
Yeah. 10 times.
So...
Not very good.
Okay, so that was my question. Like, why do you think they did this so soon after the Tobey Maguire series? Because is it not just the same exact story almost?
Money and...
How could there
Money?
be money in it? I mean, obviously there is, but I just don't
Are
see
you
how
kidding
people...
me?
But in the
They
same
go-
story, it's not like with Batman, which is... It's a different time period in Batman's life, right? Like in the Batman versus Superman versus the...
Well, it was
Nolan
a different
Batman?
take.
Supposedly.
Okay. So, I mean, but it's not like you start in the same place where he becomes Batman. I mean, right?
Well, there are many nerdy details that make it a little bit different that I won't go into, but yeah.
Okay. I'm just
They
saying,
just
like,
wanna
it's
make
not
money
just
again.
like a... Because I felt like the Spider-Man was like, okay, he got bit by the stupid spider. And
So
he's
your biggest
Spider-Man.
issue is why did we need another origin story?
Why did we need it again so soon? I mean, this was not that long since Tobey Maguire started it all.
I agree, Jen.
Sony made up too many Spider-Man toys, and so they wanted to sell them. And they're like, get in some new guy.
Okay.
The end.
It was very odd, felt very odd to me for it to be, it wasn't like it was a different time period, a different take. I didn't feel like, just from what I read, it just seemed like it was...
I always think it's like some director that's like sees the movie and he's like, I could totally retell this story and it would be way more awesome. So
But I
then
guess
he'll
it's
go
also
into the
why
studio.
we've had like 3 Incredible Hulks in the last like under 10 years too.
Exactly.
Everybody thinks they can do it better than the last guy, I guess.
Yeah, but see, nobody will be able to do Batman better than Nolan. So
Nobody.
All right, so that one you guys will probably just catch on the flip side.
no, I don't know. I mean,
No, I'll be there opening night.
yeah, it looks incredible. I mean, it looks
I love
incredible.
Spider-Man. I don't care what they do to him.
Jeez, so you're the schmucks that they can get the money out of time and time again.
Pretty much.
Well, technically, your money, yes.
True.
So
Yeah, I mean, it should be good. There's different things. I mean, if you really want to get nerdy, he doesn't have, like, natural spider powers like he did in the first movie. His
Oh.
parents aren't necessarily dead. Whole different enemy story, whole different enemies.
a lot of villains.
I was going to say,
Probably
isn't this the
gonna die.
one that Tim's concerned about being villain heavy?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got like 4 so far. I think 4 announced villains, which is always a concern because then. But it's they're trying to build on that universe and do the sort of Marvel take on.
I mean, if they're doing something different with it, fine. I just from what I'd seen about the first one, I thought it was like the same thing rehashed.
You want to know how we feel about it? You go listen to Capes and Whiskey episode 2. We talk about it there.
My bad.
Jeez.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm also kind of excited about Walk of Shame with Elizabeth Banks.
Okay, I love her. I'm telling you, I must have looked at some really shoddy list because I haven't not heard of
I
any
just
of these.
I can't believe you came with, like, not...
No,
any
I'm
movies.
telling you,
We've
none
got a
of
lot
these were on like the list that I saw, and I looked at several different sites. I don't know what I did.
Okay.
After losing an audition for her dream job, an inspiring Los Angeles TV news anchor goes out for an uncharacteristic night of partying. She awakes in the stranger's bed to a phone message from her agent telling her the job is hers. If she can make it across town by 5 p.m., or if she can make it across town by 5 p.m. Stranded in an unknown area without money, a phone, a car, she embarks on a series of misadventures as she races to the most important job interview of her life. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. I
pretty
like
funny.
her, and I think she's really funny too. So
It's got Bill Burr in it.
Bill Burr. James
The comedian?
Marsden or Marsden, however you say his name. He's
Yeah.
funny too.
Marsden.
James Marsden. Yeah.
Marsden.
Was Lemon's husband.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that looks good. When does that one come out? I'm like, seriously, I've not heard of any of these movies.
May 2nd.
The Millers and not doing homework for a show.
Actually did
Another
homework.
day, another show.
I found really terrible websites that came up on the first page of Google.
Yeah, that actually comes out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Beginning of summer, anyway.
Very cool. All right. I'm trying to see if I see anything else that looks...
So, now I am interested in this.
yeah.
Devil's Knot. I don't know if you guys know about the West Memphis 3 shooting. Do you know
Yes.
about that?
It wasn't
Or, no, sorry, not the
Murders.
shooting. Murders. West Memphis 3 murders. Well, there was a book written about that called Devil's Knot. And the documentaries are incredible. So if you've seen it, like Joe Berlinger and can't remember the other guy's name, but those are really, really, really good documentaries. And that sort of hits home with us because we're originally from Arkansas, and this was only just an hour or so away from where we're from, where that actually happened. So, but Devil's Knot has Reese Witherspoon in it, Colin Firth. That's coming out May 9th, and this is more of a, of course, a movie take on a certain side of the story. So, definitely interested in seeing that.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but it's like sad that these 3 poor kids have been in jail for so long, and then they finally got out.
Yeah.
I guess it's good they got out.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that would be a theater watch, but it'll definitely be one that I watch.
Yeah,
at
I don't
some
think
point.
I'll watch it in the theater, but
I'd Netflix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, though.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna jump into September and we can bounce back if you guys have something else. This one's another one that's based on a book that I'm gonna have to read the book. This Is Where I Leave You, and the synopsis is: a Jewish family that isn't used to observing their faith's traditions is forced to fulfill their father's final wish and sit Shiva together for an entire week and confront their problems. So that sounds okay, but then you hear the cast: Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Catherine Hahn, Dax Shepard, Ben Schwartz. It's a really, really good cast. Like, I think this is going to be like a really funny, like family-driven drama, like comedy.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Who's directing it?
I actually don't have that noted. It's in...
This Is Where I Leave You?
Yeah.
Sean Levy.
It also has Corey Stoll, who was Peter Russo in House of Cards, the representative
Yes.
that died in the car. in the
Spoiler
first season.
alert.
Sorry. But yeah, no. I think Jason Bateman and Tina Fey, I believe, are siblings in this.
God, I love Jason Bateman.
I know. I would pretty much watch anything he was in. But this, I mean, it also sounds good. And so I think I'm going to read the book just because it seems like if it's a comedy, like, I would probably like the book too. So
Yeah.
also in September, there's these are the next two I have are pretty dark. Dark Places, and then in October is Gone Girl. And these are 2 books written by Gillian Flynn, and she is an author who only actually has 3 published books, and so 2 of hers have actually been turned into movies and released within a month of one another. So this is going to be a huge year for her. Dark Places has Charlize Theron, Christina Hendricks, and Corey Stoll again from House of Cards. And both of these are not movies for the faint of heart. I would say Dark Places is actually probably the weirder of the 2, if that's even possible.
And these are both released in the fall.
Yeah, September is Dark Places and October is Gone Girl. And Gone Girl is Ben Affleck, Neil Patrick Harris, Missy Powell. Yeah. So They're both very dark, twisted stories, and I think Gone Girl is definitely going to be the box office winner between these two because I think it was her biggest of her 3 novels. But Dark Places is going to be good. That was a really crazy story. Amy Adams was actually supposed to star in it, and when they got ready to start shooting, she had a conflict, and that's when Charlize Theron was actually cast as the lead.
I'm not a fan of Charlize Theron.
I'm not actually either that much, and I'm really concerned about this role because I hate when they cast someone that is against how the character was written, like physically, like how they were described.
Yeah.
And the lead in this book is a small, petite redhead. Hello, Amy Adams. And now we've got, like, Amazonian Charlize Theron. like, blonde. I mean, they can, like, dye her hair, but she's a tall, lanky woman. And so that kind of weirds me out. Like, that's going to be a conflict for me.
Have you not seen Monster?
No, I know she can transform, but she's not going to transform into a short, petite redhead. I mean, she can dye her hair red. And they can, I guess, make everybody, like, be taller than her by making them stand on things. I don't know, there's just so many references to her, like, stature and her family stature in the book that's something that's ingrained in my brain when I picture that character. So that is kind of bothering me. But I still want to see it because I enjoyed the book. So I'm excited for Dark Places and then Gone Girl. And Gone Girl is really crazy and twisted, and they actually said that the ending is going to be different than the book, which would normally really worry me, but the author is writing the screenplay, so I have a little more faith that it'll be satisfactory.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then
now,
on
do you
the
think
on
people
the
who have not read the book will like the movies?
I think they will like Gone Girl. I think Dark Places is just going to be too odd of a movie to do much. But Gone Girl, when I read it, I told Tim, I said, this is a movie. Like, this was before they had picked it up. Anybody had even been shopping it. Like, I read it, and it read like a movie. Like a thriller with, like, twists and things like that. So I don't think it's going to be necessarily a huge blockbuster that breaks any records, but I think it'll be a successful movie regardless of whether people read the book or not.
Awesome.
And there's one other really
Girl
weird
movies.
one that I'm into that actually doesn't have a release date, and it was originally going to be released in 2013, so I don't know when it's going to get released in 2014, and that's Foxcatcher. That's the movie with Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, Mark Ruffalo.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, I want to see this movie
So
so
why
bad.
was there a delay with that?
Well, I don't know. It was originally supposed to be released, like, I think, like, fall and winter of 2013. And then I don't know why it was delayed. But originally, Wolf of Wall Street was supposed to be delayed too, because any article I read about Foxcatcher being put off until 2014 mentioned Wolf of Wall Street also being put off till 2014, which we know didn't happen. And I haven't seen any recent articles as far as a new release date for that movie, but I can't imagine that it does like a straight to DVD or anything. I mean, this to me feels like a potential Oscar role for Steve Carell.
Yeah, from looking.
It's based on a true story about an Olympic wrestling team, and he plays the coach. Mark Ruffalo and Channing Tatum play brothers that are actually wrestlers, and Steve Carell's character is schizophrenic, and he ends up murdering one of the brothers. And this really happened. It's a real life story.
Yeah.
And so he is, like, everyone in the movie physically looks transformed. But if you need to watch the trailer, because Steve Carell, it is, like, eerie. And then just to see him do this, because we've talked about before how in The Office, even when he was kind of a jackass, like, he still had this, like, earnestness to him that made you, like, he was lovable. And so to see him take on these roles that are not is very, very interesting to me.
Well, I think he's a little bit pigeonholed because he was Michael Scott for so many years, and so many people saw him like that. And sometimes audiences, just have trouble breaking out.
I agree. If you look at the roles that he has taken where he hasn't been that lovable Michael Scott version of a character, they haven't been like huge box office successes. So.
Yeah.
It's still interesting, and I like seeing him do it, so I'll be watching whether the rest of the public is or not.
And I love those kinds of things because you remember when Robin Williams, his first sort of
Yes.
yeah, what was that movie he did where he worked in the where he developed
This
film?
is Empire.
No, not that one, but yes. One of his very first serious roles was where he worked in that, where he developed the film and he would take pictures of that family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was
The Creep
weird.
movie.
That was
Yeah.
very-
Not just 1 hour.
No, 1 hour.
One
1
hour
hour
photo. Yeah, that's it. I think.
Quit disagreeing with me.
I'm done with the podcast. Get the hell out of here.
Is Cops on?
I have nothing to contribute because I don't watch movies.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah.
Jen's was 5 movies long. She's like, "There's nothing coming out this summer."
I said there was 2 in the summer. My others were fall movies, and there were only 3 then.
1 hour photo, 2002. That's when it came out.
He was also in that one movie with Pacino where he was like Insomnia. Yeah, like where they were in that Alaskan town where it never got dark.
Yeah.
He did both of those, at the same time, and it was just like a big turn for him.
Yeah, and I mean, and that just goes to show you. I mean, he's just the most wackiest comedian there is, and
I mean, come on, Death the Smoochie.
yeah,
Yes. That's a weird movie.
It is a weird movie, but I like Edward Norton. I tend
Oh,
to
I
like,
know.
love Edward Norton.
tend to like a lot of what he's in.
Yes.
Oh, Robin. Now he's friends with Bobcat Goldthwait, and he's doing like really creepy, terrible movies.
Really?
Not terrible, but just like, messed up movies.
Yeah, Bobcat's a different kind of bird.
I do want to say something.
All right. So, does anybody else have any other movies they're excited about?
So I mean, are we gonna just talk about?
Don't go into like November, December. Let's say that like that's like
because I'm looking at
Oscar
like, come on.
If there was a woman's book in December, you'd be like, well.
Yeah.
No,
If
because
Paul Rudd had a movie coming out in November, you'd
no,
be like, yeah,
because
well.
there are some movies I
Really?
left November and December off my list on purpose.
Okay.
All
Interstellar.
right.
On purpose.
It was
Damn.
intentional. All
Okay.
right. So that's it. Someone
guess.
answer me. Has
Are we
everyone
still
left the
recording?
podcast?
That's what I want to know. References.
Yeah. Let's go into references.
Tim, you're going to have to do a lot of editing tonight.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. So, Tim, do you have a reference?
Next question.
I feel like you didn't listen to him earlier when he said how busy he's
No,
been.
that was
right.
an intentional, like, putting him on the spot just to be a... Yeah.
Okay, Tim, I'll go for you.
Okay.
So my reference is that I just found out that Miranda Lambert recorded a song on her new album with Carrie Underwood, which is a really big deal because they're like 2 of the biggest stars of country music.
Define really big deal.
And Miranda Lambert is going to debut her new album next month at the ACMs in Las Vegas.
Ooh. So you'll be tuning in.
I will be.
Slow clap. Oh, wait a minute. I do have a reference.
Okay.
I do have an awesome reference, actually.
I'll go
and
next.
many people might, and Chris, you might find this actually really cool. There is a YouTube channel where they do these things called superpower beatdowns, and they take 2 very famous comic book characters and put them against each other, but it's all live action, and and it's not cheesy at all. Like they go hardcore into making like excellent costumes. The acting is really good. They're usually between 10 minutes or less or something like that. But they've done like Batman versus Deadpool, Wolverine versus Predator, Darth Vader versus Gandalf, White Ranger versus Scorpion, Master Chief versus Captain America. Like, I mean, they're incredible.
Do you have any more examples?
I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
and this has been Tim Reed's YouTube channel to you.
Well, I'm just saying. like,
Mario versus.
but one of the cool things about it is
Superman versus Thor.
one of the cool things about it, the company is called Bat in the Sun, I believe. Bat in the Sun. And on their Facebook page, they always ask their audience, like, who would win between these two characters, or who would you want to see fight against each other? And so they're totally into like listening to their audience, and I mean they spend time. I mean they only release probably only a few of these a year, so I mean they go into like in depth, like making the costumes look awesome and the visual. I mean they look like a little mini movies. So this is definitely not a cheesy thing, and it's really really cool. And I think you guys would definitely love it. Chris would, I know.
I'll check it out.
Superpower
Text me the
Beatdown.
link.
Superpower Beatdown.
I thought it was going to be a rap thing. I was about to
No.
All right,
step out.
all right, Chris.
Okay. I'm just going to list a bunch of stuff here. Just kidding. No, just started watching a TV show today. It's on the network True TV. It's called Impractical Jokers. I don't know if you've ever heard it and watched of it.
Yeah.
It's basically like just a prank show where four friends take turns going into situations where they get advice from their friends on how to act. So one of the episodes was they pretend to be like room service people, but they would go into a room and then their friends would be on a microphone telling them to do all this really weird and awkward and random stuff like, okay, take your pants down and go start taking a shower, or get all their towels and throw them in their face. Just weird stuff.
Yeah.
You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it through on demand or, anywhere on the internet. But it's called Impractical Jokers. Really funny and original, not stupid comedy. So check that out.
I will. That's
Seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. It's really good.
Well, thanks for giving me the heads up.
I mean,
You live with me. You should know me.
She loves to laugh. How dare you not tell her about that show?
How dare you
Can I
deprive me
have-
of laughter?
can I share something with someone else and not you? Is that against our marriage rules?
I mean,
Does that constitute lists that you read off YouTube?
you can keep those yourself. You can share those with anyone else you want to. I don't need that. All right. My reference this week is At Midnight. I'm Addicted.
Woo!
Comedy Central, Chris Hardwick, and then 3 comedians, and it's basically like a game show for like tweets. I mean, it's what comedians are saying when they observe like just the nonsense that's on the internet. It is so funny. And I gotta say, Chris Hardwick has an extra special place in my heart because he gives points to like everything, and I feel like that's how I am. If people don't think things are funny, I think it's funny just because you are typically funny. I don't know, like I like that he just laughs at things that aren't funny sometimes.
Yeah, it's so good and really relevant, like you said. Stuff that happens that day
Yes.
is on the show that night, and they're already making fun of it.
Yes.
And they kind of mock the ridiculousness of social culture.
Yeah. I love all the how they have like their little hashtags
wars,
and like
yeah.
and like the little puns of things. I love it. Like it's
Yes.
perfectly up my
DVR.
alley. And I could just probably sit and listen to episode after episode of that and not get tired of it. So that's At Midnight on Comedy Central. It's actually on Hulu, so if you're not up that late or you don't have Comedy Central, you can watch it on Hulu. So,
Cool.
Sweet.
Great show.
yes. All right, that's our show for the week. You can find us at Insert Pop on Twitter. I'm usually the one running that show, so, and I'm pretty active. If you'll get on there, I'll talk to you about anything. So hit me up on Twitter at Insert
You
Pop.
take Activia?
Yeah, I'm pretty regular. So we also, you can find us on our website. Right now, it's still insertpop.com. We're working on transitioning to the 30popnetwork.com, so that's coming. And be sure to check out the guys show, and then our friends Anders and Glenn, they have their A to G podcast as well. So
Yes.
thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.